You made a comment before and you called Suge Knight the devil. What made you say that?
Well, if anybody who has any association or affiliation with the word the devil or what the devil stands for, it's a lot of chaos, confusion, mishandlement, and things of that nature. And we all know Suge's not the devil himself, but for someone to be that evil and manipulative and just mishandle my career, I refer to him as the devil. Cause honestly, I've been on over $550 million worth of records. I should have had a long lasting career like one of my icons, Whitney Houston. I should have been as big as a Whitney, a Patti LaBelle, people like that, Shaka Khan, Aretha Franklin. Those are the people that I desired to work with, and I was unable to do so. So even as a young artist woman myself, I had desires of working with these people who were iconic people in my eyes, and he prevented me from doing so. I mean, I was working at the office at Death Row, and we get a call saying Michael Jackson wanted to do a song with Snoop and Dre, and he turns and says, "We on top. We don't need to be doing nothing with these busters." And I'm going like, "Should this is this is Michael Jackson. This is Michael Jackson. You don't say no to Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson." I mean, at the time he wasn't messing with little boys, so I mean, we wouldn't have been able to foresee that. But at the time, Michael Jackson was at the height of his career. We talk about the Pepsi commercial with the get the burnt with the Jerry curl. Michael Jackson, you know what I mean? Off the wall. You know what I'm saying? But he said no. He said no. And that right there kind of let me know that this man is crazy. You gonna turn down Michael Jackson? So, I mean, if he had turned down Michael Jackson, how did I expect to have a really good career?
So I did an interview with Reggie Wright Jr. and he told a story about how, I guess at this time you was probably heavyset, and he told a story about Suge Knight. He paid for you to have surgery for you can lose weight, and he said that Suge Knight got mad because he caught you drinking henny and you was eating fried chicken, and I guess that's one of the reasons why he kicked you off of death row.
I didn't get kicked off of death row at that time. He just got mad at me. But it's like this. Okay. I didn't want liposuction. That's something Suge wanted. So you can't charge me 250,000 because that's what Suge wanted. I'm not paying for that. People talking about she mishandled her money. I didn't mishandle no money. Because if he would have gave me $250,000, I damn sure would have spent it on no lipo. Shoot. Suge was just the type, if he wanted something, he wanted it done. Now, he was also a master manipulator. This was a death row party. How you gonna make me do liposuction when you know you got a big party coming up? I wasn't finna miss that party. Lachelle called me. She like, Jewell. I'm like, what? She was like, the party tonight. I'm like, the party tonight. I'm all bandaged up and everything. I still had a few more days before I was supposed to be, like out in public. Shoot. I got dressed. We went to the party. And back in them days, a party ain't a party unless you got some Hennessy. Once you get to drinking the hen that makes you sin and grin, you're going to get the munchies. So I had to eat the Kentucky Fried Chicken. So the Hennessy and the chicken was real. Yeah. And he was mad about it. But that's what he get for trying to make me miss a party. I'm not missing no party. Not no death row party.
Okay, so that was true. So what was Suge Knight's reaction when he seen you, drinking Hennessy and eating fried chicken?
What could his reaction be? At that time, you think he was gonna mess with Crazy Jewell? He said a few words, and I'm like, and we both kept partying. What was he gonna say? He wasn't gonna beat my ass. He was my big brother. He wasn't my daddy. He couldn't send me home. I'm just like, okay, we here now. So all this stuff Reggie be talking about, honey, I don't know, baby. These people, they just want their claim to fame. They want to be in the limelight. If Suge was mad at me like that, I never knew it.
Right. Yeah. He said that that was one of the reasons why you wasn't on death row no more because of that. So yeah.
I wasn't on death row anymore because death row wasn't paying me anymore. So I left. I'm not going to be anywhere, like I said, and be mistreated. Now, as for the Reggie Wright Jr., I knew Reggie as the police. He was the bodyguard. One of his officers, which was Mr. Reynolds, Frederick Reynolds, I used to see him all the time at the police station because I used to date one of the policemen. So that's how I really knew Reggie. And then he started doing the security for Suge. You know what I'm saying? And then the label started falling apart. So I don't know. Was you the snitch, Reggie? Or I don't know. I mean, I can make accusations too. But I refuse to do that. I refuse to be in the same category with people that just making accusations because they just want a little light. I am the light. Look at the recipe. All the hits that was on death row. The hits now are few in between. Because how you gonna bake a cake and then leave out a special recipe? You still gonna have a cake, but it ain't gonna taste the same. That's why when Dre and Snoop called me and I just dippin', that was after we left death row. But see, that recipe, that flavor was there. That's why they love dipping. It's one of the number one streaming songs right now, too. Just dipping. So, hey, the Reggie Wrights and the rest of them, y'all can speculate all y'all want. Suge loved me. I know Suge loved me. And I know I love Suge. And I might be mad at him for the way he handled my career, for the way he messed up Death Row Records. But we had love for each other, so don't get it twisted. His daddy, Mr. Knight, we used to play bones, dominoes. I played cards with his aunts and uncles. They was my family. Some of them was mad the way I used to talk to Suge, but the average guy couldn't talk to Suge the way I talked to Suge. But that's how we started out. That's the relationship we had, being real with each other. Suge know if we went somewhere and he was acting a fool, I'd be like, relative, don't do that. I'm not finna let him mess up. But you got other people around him be pumping him up to mess up. I wasn't that type because that's not how I was raised. So I handled Suge with love, respect, and concern. And he did tell me a lot of things. Some of them I wish I did listen to. Because he's very smart. He was very smart. But he made a lot of stupid decisions. And it affected a lot of people in the worst sort of ways.